Alright, and we're up. Pointedly not Delta Rune. Both runners just jumping across the prologue here to save just a tiny little bit of frames with each of these little bunny hops. Yeah, just a bit of background on these runners. If you are unfamiliar with the Celeste leaderboards, TGH on the right side is the current world record holder with a 29-21, whereas Psyched, 8th place on the leaderboards currently with a 30-57. So both elite runners, both high-level players, and yeah, they're going to be showing us some real good stuff today.
So yep, starting it out on chapter 1 here, we got the Lost City. And we're just going to be doing a bunch of what are known as wall bounces around, which is bouncing off a wall with a jump and a dash, and some hyper dashes, which are basically taking the momentum of your dash and adding to it with a jump, and then keeping it and like through the air. And then you can also keep the dash with an extended of those things. And so yeah, there's going to be a bunch of that stuff. So we'll say those lingos and just be ready for them, because that's basically what they mean.
And you just kind of get launched completely into speedrun here in chapter 1. You kind of see a little bit of everything here, including like a couple other like kind of advanced tricks like this, a spike jump that TGH just executed, and now neutral wall jumps to kind of skip after ride one of these zipper blocks. Yeah, TGH is the first one through with a chapter time of 1:02, which is very good. And Psyched had a little bit of trouble with one room, and that's enough to set him back about 7 seconds so far in the early going here.
So here now in chapter 2, the old site, yep. We're going to have some dream blocks that we're dashing into. TGH has pulled off the cutscene skip, getting into the dream block during the cutscene. Psyched gets it as well. Coming up will be the battle line fight, starting off in about a couple screens here. So this battle line chase sequence, we're running away from battle line, who is doing our exact movements 3 seconds behind us. Right now, TGH is running with about a 5 to 10 second lead right now. Not too high, too ahead right now. This is best of 3, so.
Oh, TGH getting caught a little bit at the end of that long room, but Psyched also kind of making a small mistake on their side of the screen. So a couple tiny errors, but nothing that's going to set either runner too far apart, since both of them kind of, responded with their own error. It looked like Psyched took a death in this last battle line chase room. Yeah, this is one of the worst rooms in old side, and really in like the early game take a death on, just because it's rather long. You definitely want to, mitigate the time loss if you can. But yeah, Psyched just has to get through a wake, which TGH is doing through really efficiently, really smooth, except for hitting that corner. Just talking about him.
Yeah, there were a couple corners that TGH ended up hitting there. So it wasn't the most efficient wake, but it certainly was a pretty good one. Whereas Psyched right now, I'm really liking this wake section. Yeah, that was really good. Okay, now I'm moving into the Celestial Resort. We got the keys to unlock this door. And then we'll be seeing some dust bunnies in a bit, which are our really first enemy in this game. Which they don't really like try to kill us, they're just in our way sometimes.
And dust bunnies are misunderstood. They just want to float around, mind their own business, and we're really the ones that are trying to clean them out and kind of destroy the peace that they've kind of established. Yeah, really solid stuff from both runners here in the early going of Chapter 3. Nothing, really major happening so far. Just really solid movement.
Right, just doing some extended hypers there on that sinking platform, and then TGH is now starting at the big mess section. Not too much really like complicated happens in big mess. The end of this first section here, which is the box section, we're gonna have a spike jump in a bit, which basically it's gonna be holding away from the wall the whole time, and so it's on this screen here, and you're able to ignore the spikes, right, because of you're constantly moving away from them. Okay, so yeah, moving through these three sections of big mess. Currently TGH in the second one. Psyched just finished up the first one, being the boxes. So there's TGH cleaning up the books just then. And now entering the towel section. And yes, the winner of this one will be going on to face Oddbod, which is also a lower bracket race. So there is currently 2 more races before the grand finals, or 2 more matches until the grand finals.
And meanwhile, TGH had a little bit of trouble in the towel section, taking a couple deaths to this room that Psyched just cleared out. And yeah, it's going to bring Psyched a little bit closer, but TGH about a few screens away from the newfound demo dash, and that could really be a point that, where TGH may separate himself or Psyched may come a little bit closer, depending on how either runner treats it.
For when that race will be, I'm assuming it's probably going to be up to the winner of this one and Oddbod. I assume TGH put anything can happen. Good first try on that demo dash there by TGH. I'll explain that in a second. But basically, yeah, I expect it probably to happen sometime later this week. And either of these players could do it, but Psyched is very good. And, TGH was brought down to this lower bracket, so that can happen. Again, he is not undefeated. It's not impossible. Psyched failing the demo dash here. So basically there is a 5 pixel gap between the spikes, and you can make your character 5 pixels tall with a crouch dash in midair. And so you can do it at the exact right pixel spacing between 2 spikes, or 2 dust bunnies in this case, and you'll just go right through the wall. But because it's pixel perfect, it can take a few tries.
Yeah, and Oddbod getting demo dash on second try. Psyched getting, confused my terms there for a second. Psyched getting a demo dash on the second try was, that's still a time save over the traditional way, but taking a death at the end of the long room immediately after, that's definitely going to stage as TGH is about to start Golden Ridge.
You crouch dash by holding down on the same frame that you hit the dash button. Then you have to let go of the down direction and hit the left, in that case, the left direction within 3 frames, I believe. And so you do have, I believe, about 5 frames to influence the direction of the dash. And if you let go of down before you hit the left one, you'll allow it to be just a left dash. But you can occasionally make it a downward left dash, but there's a slightly larger window than, I guess, like the pixel window. Anyway, Golden Ridge now. Spike jump gonna happen again for TGH right there. And a couple wall bounces. So we got those directional platforms going on. Not really used too much. We kind of just use them as a wall and leave. Except for here, where we're kind of forced to use them. Even here, we don't really need it. But it's just preferred. Got some wind going on, and these bubbles. Sorry that I'm filling all the airtime while just...
Oh no, you're fine. I've just been like watching the movement here. Yeah, TGH is very solid to Golden Ridge so far. Just one like minor mistake in the room with the 3 clouds, but overall, yeah, really, really good.
Yeah, it's really cool to watch. Oh, Psyched just taking a death here. The beginning of Golden Ridge can be deceptively annoying. You think it's so simple, but really trying to do any of this quickly makes it 10 times harder.
Yeah, exactly. Golden Ridge is just an annoying chapter with like a couple annoying mechanics, and it's also relatively slow compared to the rest of the game, so it's definitely something that can sneak up on you in terms of difficulty.
Yeah, this is the chapter that I'm currently working on to get a golden strawberry in, and it's not an easy chapter to get a golden strawberry in. Gotten really close, and it annoys me how close I get, because I die and then I'm back at the beginning of this very long, slow chapter. Okay, so TGH is now dealing with the High Cliff section, the final section of Chapter 4, where the wind is stronger, so you basically gotta constantly be hyper dashing, and we got snowballs coming at us.
Yeah, so that looked like a 258 for TGH, and yeah, anything sub 3 in that chapter is pretty outstanding. Meanwhile, Psyched, I think I noticed them having a little bit of difficulty in the major auto-scroller skip screen, but overall nothing, just like minor mistakes here and there.
Okay, moving on to the Mirror Temple. Oh, that's a mistake I don't see too often anymore. Messing up on landing on dash platforms there, which just move when you dash. And we got red bubbles being dealt with there. Nice extended. Really, actually, it was more just a wave dash there. So good wave dash. I don't know if we'll see a 5B. We might see 5B happen. It's a possibility, and with being a best of 3 scenario, I could see people trying to take risks like that to try to give them that game. Or like do it on a game where they don't have as much risk, like doing it here because there's still 2 other games that you could do if you win the next one instead. And 5B messes you up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're practicing 5e, which I'm not sure if Psyched has researched that route at all, but if you're practicing that and you're confident that you can actually get the resultant time save from completing the shorter B-side level, then yeah, absolutely go for it.
Yeah, we're already past the point of TGH doing 5B, so he's not doing it, but it's possible that Psyched might go for it.
We get Psyched starting in the movement section of Mirror Temple, as we have TGH in the unraveling section where they're going to be dealing with Seekers. So Seekers are completely manipulatable like everything else in this game. We're going to be seeing some pretty nifty movement on this side to kind of get Seekers to just like not be a threat, and also maybe help us out by grabbing some key coins like in this screen here. Very nice.
Yeah, grabbing the coins, breaking some red blocks along the way, and just in general trying to make it so they help us instead of hurt us. And it can be very hard to do to not make them do the ladder. Because if you mess up on your movement just by a little bit, like don't do the same movement on each screen, basically, they're going to be in a completely different spot, and it becomes a lot harder to react to where they are because you're used to them being somewhere else. Ooh, that was a good save on the search skip, but then actually ended up failing it on the second try. Gets it there, no problem. Okay, moving into the Theo section now. Theo has a lot of properties with it that you can use the momentum that Theo that you get when you take Theo. When you pick up Theo and stuff. You can't dash while holding Theo, but you can do a hyper dash, like throw it in front of you, do a hyper dash, and pick it up while you catch up with it in front of you. So you can add the momentum of the throwing and you dashing into it to make yourself go flying, as TGH just did there. So that's used a lot. Also, dash blocks here. You can use it there pretty well. So it's really a series of rooms that looks a lot easier than it actually is. This is really difficult inputs, actually.
Yeah, especially when you're going for Theo Ultras like TGH has been, where you're hyper dashing and then doing another downright dash to just go as fast as possible, then grabbing Theo with the ultra dash speed to just go even faster. Like, that's just stupid hard to control. But yeah, that was really good mirror tempo from TGH, and they're going to be moving into Reflection as Psyched is about to start their own escape section in just a couple screens.
And yep, just starting out the chapter 6 with a giant flying area where you just fly up with these feathers that allow you to move in all 360 degrees for a limited amount of time until they run out, and then you can pick up a new one. Oh, failing leg skip on the first try. Gets on the second, so that's a wall bounce into kind of a spike jump. Not really, you're more just interacting with the wall that doesn't have spike hitbox on it, so like there's a few pixels on the bottom of the wall that don't have a spike hitbox, so you can just kind of jump off of that wall. Psyched doing a good job in this Theo section so far.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a really good escape sequence for them. And yeah, like they're on pace for like a really decent time for themselves. Like, I know that their timer's already flashing red because they're behind PB pace, but yeah, Psyched is just a really talented runner. It's just a couple mistakes in the early game have kind of made this race like a lot farther apart than it otherwise could be.
Right, deaths are actually going to be a huge impact in this race, I believe, because like both these players die so few in their runs that a couple deaths is going to really close the gap.
Yeah, exactly. And the two major mistakes that I can recall Psyched making are dying in the last room of Battle Line and dying in the room right before Oshiro. And TGH just hasn't made a mistake of that magnitude so far. Yeah, there are some opportunities to like kind of bring this gap closer in Reflection, especially in the Battle Line fight that's soon to come.
Yeah, absolutely. There's still some plenty of sections I feel that could make this change the distance between these two players. Chapter 6 has a lot of opportunities for deaths, very costly deaths, and so they can happen, and that could allow and that could be some good hope for Psyched right there in this first race here of the best of 3. Okay, sorry. TGH just performed a battle line boost off the Kevin block just happened. You'll see it again in a bit on Psyched screen after he goes through the dev intended gap. But right now we're fighting battle line. Gotta go hug the battle line. As TGH is doing several times. Gotta keep hugging battle line until she's like, fine, I'll accept the hug.
Yeah, so we're just initiative to accept our affection, that she'll just kind of like push us backwards a little bit just to like avoid that hug just even further.
Oh, Psyched messing up on the dev intended shortcut. That's another costly death, as you're gonna have to go through all 3 of those holes again. And you gotta be able to set this up. Dying again on that. That is not good. But TGH actually dying on this, in the middle of this lengthened section here, of this like kind of vertical battle line room, which is just before the second half of the battle line fight.
Oh, and Psyched even played it close to the spikes and near the end of the swimming section there, but thankfully we made it through, and they're going to be setting up for battle line boost right here, I would imagine. But yeah, that's definitely going to widen the gap a little bit.
So yes, this hyper dash into a bunny hop, allowing you to take the the momentum of the Kevin block twice, and ride it into the cutscene through that little tunnel. You just still got to be careful through, because you can end up hitting walls in there. It's not a perfectly straight tunnel.
And you also have to avoid jumping over battle line, as we just saw Psyched do, which I don't think I've seen that before.
Yeah, you're flying so much that you go over him. TGH now in the last screen of the battle line chase sequence. As a lot of final screens on these chapters go, they aren't particularly long, so costly deaths. Hold on. Okay, TGH entering chapter 7, going to be at 21:32 into that chapter, in-game time-wise.
Yeah, 29:32 is just, or 21:32 is like a really phenomenal time entering this chapter. I think if Teach just has like a really insane summon, he might be able to sub 30 this, but yeah, we'll just have to see, because there are, if he just has like a couple mistakes, especially in like 1500, again, this could still kind of be drawn back together here with Psyched.
Yeah, it is possible, but it's not like likely in a lot of ways. It's more like, I'd say this is just gonna be like somewhere in the, I can give it a better range estimate than anything, and I'd say probably anywhere between 29 and 31 minutes total.
Yeah, eventually TGH will complete the any percent run of Celeste.
Yes, one day. So this whole summit, we are revisiting elements from previous chapters. So we got a bunch of zipping platforms here that, in the screen at least, we're mostly ignoring. And now going through 1,000 meters, so we're dealing with some dream blocks again. Psyched has finished out Chapter 6 with a 23-22, so yeah, it's about a 2-minute gap between the two players, and so unfortunately it does look like this is probably going to be TGH's match to win at this point. As I say that, they have a rather costly death here. But it's, of course, like, this is still a best of 3, and TGH can still mess up in these chapters, in this chapter, although I don't think a 2-minute gap is going to be closed, most likely.
Yeah, it might be somewhat unlikely, and we kind of saw Psyched kind of linger on the chapter complete screen for Chapter 6 a little bit there, and that may just be them collecting their nerves, just to hopefully, you know, kind of like, trying to think of the right word here, like kind of like relieve some stress and just like, you know, take a break, breathe, and, you know, just hope for a solid summon to give them some momentum riding into Game 2. And back to the race at hand here. It looked like TGH didn't really do anything too divergent from a typical 1500, so yeah, really well done there. Opted 2000 meter, which again, like the original ridge, is pretty slow. You just kind of have to deal with wind and clouds again. Yeah, meanwhile, Psyched just kinda...
And one screen with snowballs. Only one.
Only one. One
right here.
mercifully kind of short.
Which we're gonna pause on for a sync. So let's watch the Psyched screen for 30 seconds.
We're building the anticipation. We want this moment with the last snowball to last.
Yeah, we love snowballs so much, we gotta keep the amount of time that we spend with them even longer.
We're keeping you in suspense. Did TGH die on the screen? Who knows?
You'll know. Right now. And he did not! That snowball can be particularly annoying, actually. Okay, going for an extended hyper dash here, using the momentum of that directional block, and then into a wall bounce. So there's about like a bit less than 2 500-meter sections between them. So 1,500 meters here for Psyched in the middle of it, and TGH is just about to finish out 2,000 meters. So it's a bit more than like one section, but not by much.
And meanwhile, it looks like Psyched's getting through 1500 pretty cleanly. Yeah, that's definitely something that you want when you're kind of in like a no reset run environment where, you know, you just want to get through the hard spot like 1500 without any trouble and just kind of build up momentum for the next run.
Yep, TGH getting key skip, no problem. We'll be moving into threading the needle and door skip. Threading the needle, just a very precise dash in between some spikes. That happens right here. And then going underneath these doors between the spikes. Oh! That's like one of the first times I've seen TGH fail door skip in a long time. Gets it on the second try, though.
I mean, door skip is literally the hardest trick in Celeste, so it's understandable to have some trouble with it.
Hey, you know what? If I can do door skip, it's not that hard. It's really not that hard.
Wow, calling on TGH like that.
Oh, he agrees with me. I know he agrees that it's not that hard of a trick.
Alright, fair enough. Well, TGH on to 3,000 meter. We get the win back, but now it's forcing us downwards. So basically, we're just going to be kind of dashing as fast as we can to counteract the effects.
Okay, and TGH is at about 2820 right now on flag number 17. So a 29 doesn't really seem doable at this point. It might be. I'm not sure actually. Is it? It might actually be. Like still just barely doable again.
Pretty close if it were, but yeah, you just gotta make it through some of these like longer flags. Not any major mistakes. Yeah, get through flag 13. Actually, no, I don't think it's sub 30able unless I'm thinking that flags 5 through 1 take longer than they do.
No, I don't think it could be done anymore. So
yeah, that kind of confirmed it.
Yeah, pretty much. So this is looking to be about a I'd say like a 30-30. Psyched about to move out of 2,500 meters and also be entering the final ascent with the 30 flag.
Yeah, Psych starting here on downdraft, and they're going to be doing all that they can to finish up as fast as possible. But TGH here on flag 1, making the final climb. Going to be closing out this race and getting the first win in the best of 3 series against Psyched. Final time will be shortly incoming. Yeah, TGH winning game 1 with a time of 30 minutes and look like 14 seconds. We'll get confirmation here in a second after Celeste does some Celesting. Yeah, 30-14.
It's a good verb. Celesting.
Yeah, I don't know what that thing is.
It's like looking good about a 32-minute something.
Just notice that Psych's timer just slowly changes colors as you get further away from the PB, which is it's kind of like that. Yeah, Psych climbing up flag 6 and going to be hitting the last 5 flags here, hopefully closing out this run with some pretty good stuff here on the last few flags.
Ooh, missing the wall bounce here.
That one felt like my fault. Right, really nice from Psyched on flag 2, making that save, just waiting for that dash to respawn, because they skipped flag 2, and that would have set them back a good little while. But yeah, you're on flag 1. Gonna be closing out game 1 with a 32-43, so GG to Psyched.
So yep, seeing Psyched, not very happy about that run. As Psyched is typically able to show a lot better of a fight than that one. So unfortunately, Psyched got the time that he did here, but he's gonna be trying to get a better time in this next race. That is just about to happen.
Yep, indeed. Race 2 should be happening shortly after this one. I think both runners may be looking for a short break, just kind of like, stretch their hands, get ready for the next race. So yeah, should be getting started pretty shortly here on Speed Gaming 2.